I guess it really depends on how long it takes me to kind of talk about why I'm not religious.
All right, and we are live. Welcome everybody to another edition of Deconversion Stories. Today I'm chatting with Godless, Skeptic, and you can find him on Twitter. I have links to it below, and also to his YouTube channel. I think one of your latest videos was another flat earthing type thing, if I remember
think so.
correctly.
Yeah. It's been a hot minute.
It's a freaking hot minute here today, that's for sure. It was already, what was it? Well, I don't know if you know degrees in Celsius and stuff.
Yeah, I use Celsius since I'm a physicist.
Oh, there you go. Whoa. Oh, we'll have to talk a little bit about that. Because today at 10:30 in the morning, which is when I get my lunch, it was already 29 degrees.
Oh, jeez. So, good Lord. Man, it hasn't, I don't even think it's hit 20 degrees today. Like I had to walk to the university I'm going to for the next semester this morning, and it just started pouring rain while I was walking.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks. Well, you know what? Rain's good though, because that's what keeps the plants growing.
Exactly.
And the plants keep producing oxygen for us, so that's all good.
I mean, if it was a real problem, I'd have probably just called one of my housemates to come pick me up.
Yeah, well, you know, a good brisk walk never hurt anybody.
Nah, exactly. That's why I just continued out with the walk.
Yeah, well, for sure. All right, so as you know, I do deconversions on the show. So let's start, I guess, when you first sort of started realizing that all this stuff that you've been told or taught or whatever, or indoctrinated into was kind of bullshit, and what led you sort of to becoming the, I guess, atheist activist that you are today, that sort of thing. So take us on that journey, man, and I might pop in from time to time with what I consider to be hilarious comments, but they're usually more hilarious in my head than after I say them. So.
That's about how it goes, isn't it? And my microphone's all right. You can hear me all good?
I can hear you just fine.
All right, perfect. So I guess it kind of started, I was really little. I was probably 8, 9, maybe 10 when I started kind of second guessing the whole, you know, God, there being a God, Jesus being resurrected. I suppose it was probably about the time I started actually listening in classes and, like, you know, listening to what my teachers were teaching me in like science classes and such, even though most of the teachers in that school I went to were extremely religious. Really?
Now, hold on. If they were extremely religious, were they still teaching you the actual science out of the textbooks, or
they
trying to twist it?
They were teaching it in a way to where they made it sound like it was false. They were like, well, this is how it's in the textbooks, but like it's all just theories, and it's all just we don't know. And I'm like, so it's like it was one of those things where it's like they're teaching it, but they weren't really, you know,
teaching it.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times you hear that from believers. It's just a theory. And I don't think they realize what the term scientific theory actually means.
Nothing grinds my gears more than when somebody says it's just a theory.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Well, I'm a chemist, so I hear you right there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
right, we'll carry on, man.
Yeah. So it was probably around that time where I started second guessing it. And I suppose, to be fair, I was never really much of a church person, or like I hated going to church basically anytime I was told I had to go. I hated it. I hated it so much.
Me too, man.
Yeah, but
in my case it was synagogue, but yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose it was more of a gradual, or not really a gradual, it was kind of a sudden thing when I started, because you start taking a lot of those science classes about 8, 9, 10 years old, where they start kind of introducing to you to topics that other than God or whatever, because, you know, your parents take you to church when you're little, or they teach you like, God's the Almighty, whatever, so forth and stuff like that. So it was around that time, and thank God my mother really, really encourages thinking for yourself. So like, cause she's a Christian, but she's a very, very loose termed Christian when it comes to that. Like she's one of those people who take the Bible as just like a bunch of metaphors sitting in a book, you know.
Sure.
That's how she sees it. So whenever I got to that age where I started learning these stuff, and I would talk to her about it instead of the teachers who were mostly devout Christians and so forth, she would actually kind of, because she doesn't, I don't want to say she doesn't understand it. She understands it to the extent she needs to understand it.
Okay.
But she would like help me find things to read or find things to find on the internet so I could read for myself and learn about. So, and like, she didn't try to prevent me from learning this way because she wanted me to teach myself or choose my own way out without being forced into any specific religion or whatever. So I got very lucky in that aspect. But like, I don't know really. It's just because I think it was actually I think the main thing that started it was like when we started talking about evolution, and that is probably the, that's the go-to Christians. It's just a theory. It's just a theory,
Sure. Yeah.
without the understanding of what the word theory is. And I'll probably go off on tangents with complaining about stuff like that because, field of study, right?
Oh yeah, that's okay. I rather enjoy tangents on my show because they're pretty fun.
Yeah, because, so we would talk about evolution in class, and the teacher would go on about, and she would talk about it because, I'm trying to find the words here. Words are hard, in case you didn't know. But she, whenever we would talk about like the fossil record, or because it was like, how old was I? What grade was I in when I was like 10? Like 5th grade or something like that.
5th grade. Wow. Yeah, I guess.
Because you start kindergarten when you're 5, so you'd be 10, 11 in 5th grade.
Yeah, I would say around 11. Sure.
Yeah. So about that age is when they really kind of started hitting it. So when you're a little younger, they kind of introduce you to like the very basics of some of this stuff, like the fossil record, and they would anytime bring up the fossil record, they would start ramming into it how it's got missing links, and I did air quotation marks, but you can't see me, so
on the main screen you actually come up as almost like pure black except for a little white dot, just so you know, because I can see it here in this, and it's all black. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Probably my logo is missing. Like I probably forgot to take out a white part of the logo because it used to be a white background with the black like planet, but then I had to take the white background out to make it transparent, and I might have just missed something.
Oh, probably.
That happens occasionally.
That's all right.
But and they'd do what most Christians do to defend their faith. They'd rip into the dumbest, try to find the faults in evolution that don't exactly exist the way they think it does.
Oh yeah.
So, and I think that's another thing that really kind of got me on the journey away from Christianity is I like to go against what people are teaching me a lot. You're
one of those.
I'm one of those people. I like to go against the flow of things. So they were trying to teach you Christianity and how it was stupid, and I was like. So I was the asshole in the back that was like, yeah, fuck you. You're not going to tell me what to believe. So I'd go off on my own and do what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So that's probably what started my deconversion from Christian to atheism. Well, like, what else could we talk about here?
Well, I mean, do you consider that you were an atheist by the time you hit your teenage years, or what?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I was definitely an atheist by the time I.
Okay, so when you're in. Okay. So how did the people around you sort of handle that? Like, did you have a lot of believers that you knew and stuff like that? And
Yeah,
if you did,
basically
like, how did they handle it?
basically everybody I knew was Christian. There was like a handful of other kids that I like, probably not even a handful. There was like one or two other kids that I knew that weren't really believers. Well, they weren't really believers by the time they got to high school. But like when it first started, like basically everybody around me was still, Christian. They believed in God, they believed in the resurrection, so on and so forth. So I didn't really talk about it at first when I was, at first experimenting and trying to figure it out myself. But once I kind of decided that like this is a load of shit, I first told like my really close friends that I knew would like didn't really care or give a shit. And they were like, they basically went, okay, cool. So
I guess what else do you say, really, right?
Yeah, really. It's like it's really not that. It shouldn't be as big of a deal as it is. That's my opinion of the thing. But then you get to the people like your family members. Sorry, I was hearing an echo and I thought somebody came in the house.
Oh, maybe you're haunted.
And when it came to family members, on the other hand, because I'm still not entirely sure my dad's parents know that I'm an atheist. But so like, because
are they religious? Like quite religious?
They are extremely religious. Like,
okay.
they don't really talk about it a whole lot, but I would assume with how they talk about the world, they would be creationists.
Oh wow.
So, and my mother keeps saying my dad is, but I don't know if I believe that because my dad never talks about it. So
she's telling you that your dad's a creationist?
Yeah, because he said some things like to make it sound like he would be a creationist, but it is my dad and he likes to say things, but at the same time he is extremely scientifically progressive. Like he's very good with the science, like the natural sciences and the hard sciences, and it's hard to believe that someone that good with the sciences and that well of an understanding with physics, astronomy, biology, chemistry would have that belief. But there are people out there that probably do.
Sure.
Yeah. But again, it's impossible to tell because if I ask my dad, he just goes, whatever. He doesn't answer the question because he has a philosophy of life is there's two things you don't talk about: religion and politics.
Which seems to be almost like what everyone's fucking talking about.
Yeah. Like, I can't blame them. Outside of the internet, I cannot stand talking about politics. I can't stand talking about politics on the internet. I'll get into religion, of course, because I find it kind of fun to kind of educate people about the different, especially some people that actually want to learn. And when you get to politics and you got two opposite sides of the spectrum that don't care about the other side, it's just there's no point. I give up. You believe what you want to believe. But unless it's racist or sexist, then you're a horrible person and you should not.
Yeah, kind of try to put a quash on that shit right away.
Yeah, no, that's not cool. Don't be racist. If you're racist, fuck you. It's as simple as that. But I was somewhere and I sidetracked myself a little bit. Oh yeah, I was talking about.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Well, we were talking about the people in your life that were so religious, and if they tried to influence you,
no, because like both of my parents knew pretty quickly, and both of them were like, "All right, cool, that's fair. That I get the understanding. Whatever, you're still our son, whatever."
Yep. Sure.
So very, very
and you're
lucky
man.
Parents.
I've heard stories where that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Very lucky with the parents I got. Very, very lucky. And then I think my favorite one was this group of kids I hung out with. It was me and two others. Me, myself, and one other guy was like the one other atheist that I ever knew in high school. And then the third kid was like an extremely religious person. And we hung out all the time. I have no problems with you being extremely religious as long as we don't talk about religion, you know?
Yeah.
But
don't proselytize and we're good.
right, exactly. And we would get in conversations every once in a while. But there was this one conversation, I guess it kind of turned more into an argument after a bit. But he got very defensive about a lot of stuff. And what he does the Donald Trump, you know, where he just kind of goes to an immediate, like, 2 words, you're wrong, no, or whatever, you know, when arguing. My favorite, but at one point, I told him, I don't have anything against the belief in a God. There could be one for all I know, but I doubt it's the God of the Bible. And he goes, no, that's just you being closed-minded. And I'm like, all right. All right.
I'm sorry, what?
I was like, my immediate response was, what? Do you know what that word means?
And what did he say?
He goes, yeah. And I'm like, all right, what does it mean? And he goes, I don't have to answer your questions.
In other words, I don't know.
Yeah. Outside of religion, I loved the kid. But god damn, that was the most obnoxious thing he could have ever done.
Oh man, trust me, they're out there.
Yeah. I know.
They use the big words and they're absolutely clueless as to what the true meaning behind them is.
Right, exactly.
Which is evident with the word we were talking about earlier, just the word theory.
Yeah. He was also one of those ones where, oh, it's just a theory, and couldn't explain what a scientific theory was. So I just fucking love that. But then I also had this one friend. I think this was a little bit earlier. I think this was like sophomore year when we took biology. And that was probably the first year we really got into the nitty-gritty of evolution. Mm-hmm. And we had like an entire section on like genetics and evolution, so on and so forth. And I don't know, he just had a big problem with evolution, because I specifically remember this instant. We were walking to class and he showed me, because we had to make binders customized to each section we went over. So when we got to the evolution section, he had put this binder cover on that it was like from Bugs Bunny to like something else to Godzilla. And then he would show it to people and go, this is what evolution is. And I'm like, and that was probably the first time I like truly discovered that people actually don't believe in evolution, that are like, you know, not little kids. Because I laughed at the binder because I thought he was just making a joke, you know, what we do. Because I used the evolution binder cover. I was like, yeah, evolution, woohoo, you know. But then I laughed and I was like, that's kind of funny. Too bad that's not how evolution actually worked. And he goes, oh, you actually believe in evolution? And I'm like, yeah. Is that something people don't believe in? Is that something people don't do? Is that a thing?
What the hell's wrong with these people?
Right. It's like what the hell? Who taught you these things? Because I sure as hell weren't taught these things. But I think that was my first experience with somebody who actually did not believe, or who did not believe evolution actually happened. And I think it was so bizarre. It was so bizarre because I processed it for about 15 minutes and then just didn't think about it again. So I don't know if he's changed since then. This has been, I was about to say 7 years. No, it's probably been 5 or 6 years at this point. So he might have changed his mind at this point. I hope he has.
It's possible.
I hope he has.
Do you think you might have had any influence on that?
I talked to him about it a couple times where I'd like try to help him understand it, but I don't know if I'd say I had an influence on it very much, because again, I don't really talk about religion with close friends, because, you know, if you're a decent human being, regardless of what you believe in, I think you're a decent human being, even if you believe in some stupid theories.
I suppose, yeah. I
like,
mean,
Except anti-vaxxers. Anti-vaxxers, you're retarded. You just vaccinate your kids. Vaccinate your kids.
I think most believers, your run-of-the-mill believers are generally decent people.
Yeah.
When you get fundies in there,
yeah,
that advocate for the death of homosexuals, for the subjugation of women, for all that other shit that's biblical, those people aren't so nice. They might pretend to be,
right,
but
exactly.
Underneath that all, they've got that shit.
It's like the sad part is this guy, he was a super nice kid. He didn't hate. He literally hated no one. Like if you were gay, he didn't care. It's like that's what you believe in. He was a creationist, that he believed in young earth creation. He believed in the resurrection of Jesus, and he believed in the God of the Bible, besides the fact that like he accepted that people were gay, lesbian, homosexual, whatever you want to call it. He was like, it's whatever. And it just blew my mind that it was a very interesting experience with this kid, because he was a really nice kid. He didn't hate anyone for anything, for any reason. And so I was like, I never had any problems with him. We got along just fine. But I suppose that's because neither of us really tried to impose our views on each other.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a difference between offering up your views, and imposing them on
whenever we both agreed to talk about it, we could talk about it. But like if we just kind of tried to bring it up or try to like say, hey, this is how it is, it would get a little. We wouldn't do that. It would be something like if he had a question about something that he didn't understand with biology or genetics or whatever, he would come and ask me about it. There was that kind of stuff, or
So you were teaching the teacher?
I mean, I've nothing to do with deconversion or anything, but I do that a lot, where the teacher says something and I have to correct the teacher. Like, if you say, because especially in the high school I went to, again, super religious high school, and I had this calculus professor. He was insanely good with math, and he was a rather nice guy. A lot of people are nice on the outside, right?
Sure, most of the time,
right? I remember he brought up something. I was sitting in the calculus class with two other people, and we were working on some homework, and he goes, did you hear about that one thing that like completely disproved the formation of the universe? And I'm like, hang on.
Would you see it on a comet going by or something?
I have no idea. But
by the way, Sassy Atheist said to say hello.
Oh, hello.
I don't know if you have the chat going up.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
See, all right, but
there you go. We're interacting with the crowd. Yay.
No, you're fine. I remember him saying that, and he was like, so how does it feel when something is disproven in the scientific community? And I'm like, it doesn't. It's disproven, and we work to find something else that fits in the spot just as well, or even better if it actually works. And that answer frustrated him so much, because I think he wanted to say to just like deny it or something like, oh no, it's true no matter what. But I don't know. But it was such a funny interaction, because he clearly lacked understanding of what science is. And it's like, because he's a smart guy. Like, he was really good at math, but he's just so scientifically illiterate.
Well, my grandfather was a calculus professor too, so I got to learn a little bit about it. I never actually took any classes, but
I just finished my last calculus class I'll ever have to take.
Isn't that like the best feeling? That's what I hear anyways.
Oh yeah. Don't worry. I have to go into elementary differential equations next semester.
Oh jeez.
It's going to be a great semester.
See, I took some pre-calc and trig and stuff, which is really, really all you need for what I do. But
yeah. Chemistry's fun. Don't diss chemistry.
Hey, I'm a total hack, dude. It's okay. But it is fun. as long as I don't, accidentally mix the wrong shit and blow the laptop
Right.
or something. But,
Exactly.
I mean, we play with like sulfuric acids and shit like that, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
and I've had that squirt on me, and I got it one time in my fingernail, right underneath the fingernail bed there.
No.
Oh yeah, and my fingernail stunted the growth, and there was a gap in my nail for like a year until it grew out again.
That would suck.
Neil,
would suck.
Wear gloves, you stupid motherfucker.
Lesson learned, right?
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no. I think that was part of the thing with growing up in a really religious community, because I grew up in a town that's like 2,000 people, so like everybody knew everybody, and like everybody went to church on Sunday, all that fun stuff.
Do you think maybe a lot of them were just there for the community element of it, or do you actually think they were like full on?
I do think there were quite a few people there that were there for the community element, because I will hand it to. So I grew up in a Methodist church, and that is probably one of the most friendly group of people that I have ever met. Like, I met a lot of really friendly people that were in the Methodist church that I went to when I was younger, and I don't know much about other churches because I never really went to any other churches. My mother was Catholic. I suppose she wouldn't consider herself Catholic anymore.
Right.
She thinks Catholics are full of shit. I think a lot of people there were for the community, because the Methodist church I went to, we had a choir. Most churches have a choir, but the choir lead, he was gay, and nobody cared. Nobody cared that he was gay. They were like, all right, cool. You're still, and they never had any issues with that. And that right there is proof that just because you're religious, you don't have to hate gay people. I'm gonna put that out there. Like, come on now. Don't be an asshole.
No. This is one of those things where it's like, the Bible does say that homosexuals are an abomination. So
right,
I understand that people that are fundamentalists wanting to take that to heart, but I don't understand. I mean, why they would want, like, why would you
voluntarily hate another human being?
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, I voluntarily dislike.
They can't help either.
I'll be honest. I voluntarily dislike other human beings, but that's not because of them being gay or what it is. It's because they're just shitty people, right. like people who are outright just shitty people. Mm-hmm. Like, I can understand the dislike of those people. But if you're just hating some random Joe on the street because he has a boyfriend, then you're a piece of shit. I mean, if you don't understand,
hate and dislike are very different, though.
Yeah, that is a very, very true thing. But
like those NIFB motherfuckers that are going down to the name's escaping me at the moment. The club that had the incident in Florida, gotcha. Orlando. And they're going down there to make America straight again. Like, what?
That is so fucking stupid. That is so fucking stupid.
Don't worry. There's many of us that are working to. We've already had a couple of their PayPal accounts shut down.
Yeah. I've been kind of following it, but since I've been like in the middle of a move, it's kind of hard to keep track of everything. Yeah,
it's the Pulse nightclub, by the way. I was thank you, DRP.
Yeah.
The Pumpkin Brigade is at it.
I saw that, and I think that's the funniest fucking thing. I love that.
Unlike Atheist Girl, who thinks it's a bunch of us YouTubers that were on the side of Stephen Woodford trying to redeem ourselves. Fuck off.
That whole Stephen Woodford thing.
It's dealt with.
It's dealt with. At this point, I don't really watch him anyway, so,
I do. I very much enjoy his stuff. And the guy made one shitty video where he fucked up.
It was... people make mistakes. Shit goes down. And from what I heard, he fixed it relatively quickly, so I've got nothing against the guy.
People are arguing against that now, too. But
okay, well...
I'm like, you know what? I'm out of this shit.
Yeah, I'm done. I don't want to get involved with this. Nothing's as ever black and white and as people as want it to be.
Yep. Banana Junior is very correct. The Pumpkin Brigade
Right,
is very important. And why are you flying the Whitebeard flag now, Banana Junior? Sorry, a little One Piece talk here.
Nah, you're good. Yeah. I'm sitting on my foot and it's going to sleep.
Was it? Oh shit! Now it's going to be up all night.
Right, exactly. But yeah, no, I just I have always been one for like keeping to myself, or like keep your views to yourself, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But like when it comes to this whole religion thing, I think we need to step up and like speak out and go, because I don't think we should have to define ourselves as atheists, or people should have to define themselves as Christians. Those should just be they should just be words to describe a belief, not to have that belief describe a person, you know what I mean?
Yep. Oh, absolutely.
And it drives me nuts.
I think Beach Price also liked my foot sleep joke. Feel free to steal it. That's fine.
I'm gonna definitely steal that.
Well, it's my dad's, really. So typical dad joke, right? So
right.
I tell dad jokes all the time. Thanks
Speaking
to him.
of dad jokes,
but I don't
Vice Rhino has the best dad jokes. I'm gonna be honest. I love his dad jokes.
Yes, he does. And everybody that's watching right now, including you, Mr. Skeptic here, get him to follow me. I've been trying for a long time. He just doesn't want to follow me. I'm even Canadian like he is. And it's like, what the hell? I just think he just doesn't really realize that he's not. So everybody get out there and
get out there and like tweet him and like tell him to follow Neil. Tell him to follow Neil.
and to come on my show.
Yeah, exactly. Because wasn't he? I don't want to say fundamentalist, but
I think he was. Yeah,
I think I remember him mentioning that at least a couple times, that he was fundamentalist, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I haven't really watched a whole lot of his videos recently. Mm-hmm. But I suppose so. I suppose that's what's that?
Casey.
No, you're good. So, but I suppose I should probably continue my actual story.
Here we're interacting with the crowd, and it's all good. It's like a concert.
We're having a great time. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly.
But
I told you it'd be fun.
Yeah, no, I knew it'd be fun. I just figured my story would be lackluster.
We're ad-libbing.
Exactly. But yeah, what would happen a lot with the community, because again, a lot of the community is pretty religious. So it's like whenever people would figure out that I was an atheist, or most of the time I would say agnostic, because it's just easier to explain to people and it makes other people feel better a lot of the times. So
yes, that's true. It's weird, but it's true.
It is really weird, but it is true.
I think maybe when you say you're agnostic, they might think in the back of their minds, "Ooh, there's still a hope that I can bring them back to the flock."
No, it's I can tell you how to bring me back to the flock right now. Prove it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's that easy. It's that easy. Like. And
they try.
Like, yeah, they try hard, but they just nothing works out. So I've got a good story. So 5 years ago, I made this friend over the internet who, at the beginning, we both knew that we had differing views on religion, and he knew I was atheist, but he would always use the word agnostic.
Right.
And I love this guy. He's super nice guy. But a few weeks ago, I guess a couple months ago at this point, he sent me that he was concerned for my soul and that he wants me to find the way to Jesus and stuff like that. And I'm like, hey man, I get your concern. I understand where you're coming from. But if I wanted to if I had any questions that I was even remotely confused about, I wouldn't just sit there and wonder about it myself. I'd ask. That's why I'm an atheist, because I went out and actually asked. I discovered, I worked for it myself. I made sure to know what I was getting was, the truth. Well, maybe it's not the entire truth. There could be more to it. There could be less to it. Who knows? But, and he just kind of like, well, I want you to find Jesus. I don't want you to burn in hell. And I'm like, Jesus, man. I think that says something about your God if he sentences people to life for eternity, burning in hell for not believing in something for that there is no proof. I don't want to believe in that God no matter what, Even
the whole concept of eternal punishment for finite crimes is fucking blows my mind.
It blows my mind. Blows my mind. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I really don't.
And something as ridiculous as non-belief. Like you figure,
right.
Even if you were a non-believer your whole life, and let's say it is real, and you get up there and you're at the pearly gates, and God just happens to be there, like out of the kingdom having a smoke or something. And
right.
He's like, this whole thing about non-believers not being able to be up here. Well, now that you know that I'm real, are you willing to believe in me? And I'd be like, I can see you. So,
I can see you right here. You're right in front of me.
Then you're undeniable. Here's the golden ticket.
Right.
By the way, we have the best chocolate in the world up here. Which I love.
The best chocolate in the world. You got me on your side, right there, right in there.
Good chocolate and good beer, and I'm in.
Exactly.
This beer is heavenly. Fucking idiot.
No, that would be definitive proof that would get me to believe. It's that simple. It's that simple, But I would use the term agnostic a lot because it would make people feel better about me not believing in a God, because for one, I personally didn't feel like discussing it too much because, where I lived, it was just such an odd thing to be an atheist. I didn't really want to get into it with people or discuss it because then they'd all be like against me. And I'm like, I'm not going to argue with 2,000 different people at the same time, It gets very difficult to shout over 2,000 people yelling. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
I would know.
I need a microphone to do that. That's the only time I can do that.
Right, exactly.
And I have done that, just FYI.
Oh man, so I was in Boy Scouts of America. I'm assuming you know what that is.
Of course.
It's a pretty large organization in the in the United States. Or
we got them up here too. They're just not of America.
Of America, right?
But they're the weird thing is, America, we're America too.
Right.
You guys are the United States of America. Right?
I make that argument like a lot of time. This goes back to me correcting teachers. I'm going to go off on another tangent about me correcting teachers here real quick.
I love it.
So I had this teacher, I think freshman year, and she was talking about America, and she had said something. I can't remember quite what she'd said, but she was talking to another student. And she goes, yeah, Canada's not a part of America. And me being the correcting asshole student that I was like, well, that's not true. That Canada is, it's a part of the North American continent, which makes up the Americas, making it an American country in the not in the general sense that we use it anyways. Yeah. And she goes, no, you're wrong. And I'm like, do we have to pull out a map? Well, did you fail geography? Like, it blew my mind that she so confidently, she was a language arts teacher. So, I mean.
Oh, well.
So,
Say no more.
You're right, exactly.
That's probably the teacher that I met coming across the border up into Canada here in August. I think it was either late July or early August, and they had snowboards strapped to the roof, like they were expecting when they crossed the border they were going to hit snow. Like,
wait, you mean you don't hit snow?
Degrees here,
you don't hit snow as soon as you cross over into Canada?
Nope. Apparently, our snow can withstand 30-degree heat.
Oh, damn! Nice. No, I've been to Canada. Canada's quite lovely.
Well, it's a big place, so
Yeah, of
some
course.
of it's lovely, and
Some of it's lovely.
like
Some
crap.
of it's pretty miserable. Yeah, because we went up to Quebec.
Oh, actually, Quebec's really cool.
Yeah.
A lot of old heritage buildings there.
Yeah. Oh, it was a super cool place. So if like anybody's never been there, I recommend it. It's a pretty cool place to go.
Yeah, just don't tell anyone you don't speak French, or they'll frown at you.
I speak German. Is that good enough?
Close enough.
Right. Exactly. They're neighbors, right?
It's European-ish.
European.
Right? So there you go.
It may be completely two different branches, but
Yeah. Well, I think
enough.
Who knows, man? Our language spawns off of like multiple European languages.
Oh yeah, it's like 50% Germanic, like 50% fucking Romance. Who the fuck knows?
Yeah. Yet Americans, all of us, North and South Americans, are not, well, North anyways, are not considered to be romantic.
No.
When people say, "Oh, the romantics," they don't think of us right away.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Oh man.
But I could be quite romantic.
Yeah, I can too.
One Valentine's Day, I knew a friend of mine that owned a restaurant, a nice little Greek restaurant, and the girl I was dating at the time that I was really, really trying to impress. And we'd been together for months at the time, but I wanted to impress her because I really liked her, and I thought maybe this could be, because I was already in my 20s, I think, at the time, and this could be one that I could settle down with. So I had the whole place lined with rose petals all the way to the table, and our corner was darkly lit and some candles, and I had my friend Billy come in with a violin, and it was great, and it literally almost had like zero effect on her.
Oh, nice.
It's like wasted effort, man.
I'm not extreme. I'm not like an extremely romantic person, but I can be. Sure. But there's a foreign exchange kind of student. Not really a student. She was teaching, but she was like my age teaching, So it's a complicated thing. But I liked her. So a Valentine's Day, we went on a sculpture walk into the city.
Cool.
It was a pretty cool sculpture walk because she really likes art, Right. I mean, it depends on the kind of art, if it's cool art, right? And like, she just was not fazed at the fact, like, at all. And I'm like, why does this not surprise me? Leave it to a German to just not. No offense to any Germans, by the way.
You loveless bastards.
Yeah. Have a fucking heart.
We're kidding.
Yeah, no, seriously. I thought it was the fucking funniest thing, and I'm trying to do these things, and she's just like, yeah, okay. I'm like, all right, cool.
Well, that didn't work.
That didn't go as planned.
Guess I'll return the box of condoms. I don't even think you can return that kind of shit anyway.
I don't think you can.
It's unopened.
I've had so many people. So I work at a Dollar General, and I have so many people that try to do that. And I'm like, what the fuck? No, get out of here.
Yeah. Make water balloons out of it, you idiot. Get out of here.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah, if you're not going to use it for that.
Right. If you're that lonely.
Yeah, a friend of mine, when we were younger, we went to one of those XXX theaters, and he brought this box of condoms with him and some Ivory soap. And he's filling these things with soap and throwing them down the aisles. You can hear people going, "What the fuck?" in the front row and shit like that. Oh my goodness. Oh my
That's
goodness.
Funny.
The shenanigans that we used to get up to.
Man, me and my friends, we do so much stupid shit together. That's what you do when you're young, right? So yeah. I'm 21 years old, right?
It doesn't work so well at my age now. So
right.
I get kicked out and called a pedophile or whatever,
right? Right.
Fuck out of here, buddy. It's a Disney movie. What are you doing? Oh, sorry.
Sorry. So I'm 21 years old, so I'm still at that prime age where
at least you can drink down there now.
Right, exactly. No, fucking I did it anyways. But me and my friend get into so much stupid shit together. It is unbelievable. Like, I know we've been racing on the highway with vehicles before, and I remember this one specific incident. This has nothing to do with me being an atheist. I'm just retarded. But I remember I rolled the window down and I propped myself up on the window and like pulled my head and like upper body out of the car and like sat on the window sill, and was like leaning over to the other car, yelling at the other people in the car to go faster. And I'm like, I'll remember that for the rest of my life because of how fucking stupid it was.
Those are the best memories. Like, if you ask me.
Apparently, I'm closer to Lucifer's. Lucifer. I just said that out loud, and I get it.
And then it dawned on you.
Wait a minute! It's 6:00.
That's
Why is it dawning? He said, "I'm apparently closer to his son's age than his age." Cool. But
Lucy and I are going to be talking about having her on my channel. So.
Oh, really? Nice. I'm not going to lie. I just got the notification that you went live.
Oh, yeah? Well,
yeah.
Thanks,
yeah,
thanks for being on the ball.
I think I might stop by and check it out.
Whoa, he's in the chat and here. Blown away.
I'm 35. I'm basically half dead at this point.
I said her, Lucy. It's okay. I was kind of.
I may have said he. So.
Oh.
So my apologies. My apologies.
I'm 64. I'm already mostly fossilized.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, no, I'm still young. I've got at least 10 years left.
Oh, yeah, at least. That's funny because at your age, I would say the same thing. Oh, geez, I hope I make it to 50, and I'm now like 52. So. Oh,
really? You're my dad's age. Jeez.
There you go, son. Wait, you could be my illegitimate child for all I know.
Yeah, you never know.
Rumor has it I do have one out there. So.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, yeah. Let's not get into that.
Yeah.
The shit that people don't really need to know about me.
Right.
I don't hide it. I actually make fun of it.
Gotta have a little fun.
Of course.
You never know. Hell, I could have an illegitimate child. Last person I talked to, they didn't want to talk to me anymore.
Now everyone's telling each other their ages. I'm 40, I'm 38. I'm 31.
I'm 19. Be 20 in November. Yeah. November's a bit of ways away, sassy.
Sassy, you're old enough to drink here, so you're good if you're here.
I mean, I drank here anyways. So I mean,
yeah, I did too. I started bootlegging when I was 16.
Oh yeah. I started drinking when I was 17. I didn't start when I was 16. But I was 17 when I started. And I really don't actually drink all that much anyways. Mm. But when I do, I drink the hard shit. Don't give me none of that light shit. I go hard. Like St. Patrick's Day, I'll fucking.
Oh yeah.
I'll get wasted.
And you do.
Oh yeah. I was like New Year's, I'll get wasted. That's probably about it. I get drunk like twice a year.
I'll warn you right now. If you're ever at a party with me on a New Year's, do not fall asleep. Okay? just warning you now.
You know what? I'm not going to question it because I am that same person. If you fall asleep when I'm around, you're fucked. You're done.
Dick's drawn on your face and all kinds of stuff, right?
You're going to wake up and really wish you hadn't gone to sleep.
Yeah.
You're gonna be missing hair. You're gonna be missing shoes. You're gonna have dicks on your face. you're gonna be missing any facial hair you had previously.
And if we're drunk enough, you might be losing your pubes too. So.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out the shears.
Oh, fuck it, storming.
Wow. See, my roommate loves that stuff. I don't mind them too, like nice thunderstorms.
Oh, I love thunderstorms. I love thunderstorms. I'm so happy it's storming. It's so nice.
How do you go from shaving pubes off to storms like in one flow?
Listen,
I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that before.
Listen, if we ever have any more conversations, you will experience this frequently. I have
You've got to come into my after parties, man.
I will have to come into your after parties at some point. You just hit me up at some point. You have an after party, and I'll come and join the after party because I am the most ADD ADHD person that doesn't have ADHD or ADD.
That's a lot of A's and D's, man.
Letters are hard.
Fuck. And you said numbers are hard too. Holy shit, algebra.
I don't know how I passed Algebra 1, let alone Calc 3.
Sassy, it was a joke, Sassy. It's all right.
Shaving pubes.
Yeah, she's talking about shaving pubes. Just don't fall asleep at a party that I'm at. That's all I can tell you.
It's like it's a general rule in the current city I live in, the city I just moved to, and a general area I previous lived in. It was a rule: don't go to sleep at a party, because you were going to be missing some hair when you woke up. That was just the way it went.
Yeah, I hear you, Lucy. I'm also a chemical analyst for an environmental company, so math is a necessity.
Oh God! Well, keep this in mind. I don't know who all was here when I mentioned this earlier, but so I'm a physicist. Math is definitely a necessity for me. So
yeah, just a bit.
So. Yeah, no, it's fucking great. And on top of that, okay, specifically, I'm a theoretical astrophysicist.
Okay.
So we do a shit ton of math all day, every day.
You're like the guys on Big Bang Theory.
Oh, God.
The whiteboards and the numbers and sine and cosine.
You laugh at that now, but like I used to have this mirror thing that I would write on. And I've considered on more than one occasion to just paint my walls with that whiteboard paint,
mm-hmm.
Just so I could draw all over my walls. Just so I could do that.
From mom and dad, right?
Right, exactly. I live in my own house. What do they care?
Speaking of that, my mom always tells, and I don't know why she chooses this story particular to tell people when we're out at like dinner parties and stuff, or at friends' places. She says, my boy Neil, when he was just a little boy, and his sister, we had just brought her home, and he decided he was going to remove her diapers and paint the wall with her diapers. I don't remember doing this, but apparently I was a little Picasso with the poopy diapers. So.
Nice. I don't know if you just heard that, but that was a solid crack of thunder.
I heard it.
Nice. Like, if I had my webcam going right now, you would have definitely been able to see the lightning.
Oh, your whole place would have lit up for a second.
Oh, yeah. Because it's dark in my room right now. I keep my lights off during the day. So, like, I don't waste electricity.
Yeah.
Because money, Yeah.
It's better going in your pocket than someone else's, right?
Right. Because me and the two people I live with, we all work at Walmart. Like, the same Walmart, too. And it's fucking great.
Well,
it's
sorry, just trying to catch up here a little bit. See, I try to keep an eye on things just to see if anyone has questions for you and stuff like that.
Right? Yeah, ask me questions because clearly we've passed my deconversion story at this point. We're just fucking around at this point.
Yeah, sure, but sometimes this can be the best part.
Yeah, exactly. This is the part.
Anyone that wants to hear the deconversion will hear it, and they'll get what they can out of it. Hopefully,
yeah. So I'm gonna definitely go back and rewatch this just so I can hear my stupid stories.
Fun stories, not stupid. Come on.
Right.
Raise his hands. Yes, I don't like it when the lights go out here, Sassy, because I've been late to work on a couple of instances because of the power going out here, because that's what controls all the gates that we have to come in and out of in a parking garage. So
what made
I got trapped in the stairs because I need a fob to get into the floor. And if the fobs aren't working, because they're electricity based, I can't even get, so I had to walk outside the building, go around and sit out front until someone could open the door. So I sat there for an hour and 20 minutes until that happened.
All right, so Lucifer has a question. He says, what made you want to turn to YouTube? Well, I'm going to be straight up and honest. Back in 2012, I wanted to play games for YouTube. So I had a gaming channel and everything. You can still find it. It's out there somewhere.
Me too.
I'm not going to tell you what it is, but if you find it, because I don't want to say it. I mean, it's a dead channel. I every once in a while put like a stupid video because I still play games in my free time, right? I've been playing a shit ton of The Witcher 3 recently.
Cool.
So, by the way, great game.
Last video game I tried to play again was Mario Kart 64. We were playing it on genetically modified Skeptic's computer. And I was all talking smack. I'm like, oh yeah, I was a master at that fucking game. He's like, oh, I've got it here, an emulator. Let's play. And the guy fucker wiped the floor with me like 7 out of 8 times. So
nice.
Bastard.
Oh man, yeah, no. I was like, so like, I mean, I still upload to it. I don't actually do like any voice things, and I might try. And I'm gonna try start streaming games again here soon, since I actually have better internet now. So I mean, I might consider telling you guys then if I decide to do that. But basically, I turned to atheism YouTubing because of people like Professor Stick, Vice Rhino, you know. I think it was actually those two mainly that got me into doing it, and genetically modified Skeptic. Drew was another reason I started. So those three. No, I started watching Cosmic Skeptic after I started.
Oh, Alex is really cool. I've met him as well.
Yeah, I haven't met any of them. Well, I talk to Professor Stick every once in a while on his Discord, but like other than that, I talk to him whenever I want him to proofread, because I'm not a biologist and he is, so he has much more knowledge over biology. So like I did a video a while back where I got to talk about telomeres, you know, and I asked him to proofread one of my like excerpts about telomeres, so he could tell me if I got it right or if I got it wrong, or if he could correct me. So Professor Stick's a really good channel. So if anybody don't know who that is, probably do.
Most people do.
Most people do. He's a fucking awesome atheist YouTuber. Fucking funny too.
Yeah, he is. I should get him on my show.
Yeah, you should. Because I'm curious about his story too.
I don't think he knows I exist, but you know, that's okay.
Nah, it's fine. I'm sure he does. I don't know if this question's for me, but I'm going to answer it anyways. Another freaking atheist asked, what is your favorite music?
Yeah, well, that's my friend Don, by the way.
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well, I don't really have a particularly favorite type of music because I listen to just about whatever. But I will say my favorite artist either has to be Gordon Lightfoot or this German band that I have a really hard time pronouncing their name, so I'm going to put it in the chat. So if you like listening to German music or like folk music, I would recommend Gordon Lightfoot. German music, I would recommend the guys I just put in the chat.
Querbeat, I guess.
Not quite, because it's pronounced Germanly. Querbeat or something like that. Oh.
Querbeat.
Something like that, exactly.
Sounded almost Russian. Hilarious.
Right.
I think Biddy Love had a question for you too. Didn't know who you were, but how do you deal with family if they're not atheist?
Thankfully for me, it was super easy because they were basically like, all right, cool. Do you talk during the movie theaters? That basically, they were just like, cool. It's whatever. It's your decision, you know? So I honestly, you'd probably have to ask somebody. Maybe like Drew might have a better one. Telltale might have a better way of. I honestly, most of my loved ones are very okay with me being an atheist.
There you go.
So, and then, do you talk during the movie theaters? No, I'm not a fucking animal.
I'm the guy in the theater that if I hear people talking behind me, I stand the fuck up and tell them to shut up or get the fuck out. So
that's funny.
And usually they're like, "Holy fuck, he's huge," and they shut up.
Well, see, for me, I'm 5'7" and like 120 pounds. So
I could bench press you, dude.
I can bench press myself.
Yeah, there you go. do one-hand push-ups.
Exactly.
I don't think I've done a push-up in over 20 years.
I absolutely hate when people talk during movies. I'm gonna be honest. Like, my mother and my sister both have really bad habits of talking during movies. Like, we'll be watching a movie. Like, whenever I still lived at home, we'd watch a movie together. Like, my family we'd watch a movie, and my mother would keep asking questions about the movie, and it's like, just keep watching. It'll answer your question.
What did I write the script? Watch the fucking movie.
Exactly. It was so obnoxious.
Sassy, I'm never going to the movies with you.
Right. Oh God, I hate when people talk in the movies. Hate it so much.
I will bring a gag. I'll even make it fun and big.
I'll bring a gag that ball gag. Jesus Christ. that took me a second to realize what you had said. That's funny. That's funny.
It's not fun. It might be fun for you, Sassy, but it's not fun for everyone else in the theater.
Yeah, no, my current playlist.
Gags. Beautiful.
Jesus.
Don't ask now, I know. Oh, I won't. At least not on camera. We'll talk privately.
Privately. Because someone just talked about their playlist. It skips from Chelsea Grin, who I've never heard of, to James Brown, who also I've never heard of, to Pierre Tosh, who I've also never heard of.
Hold on. Oh. James Brown?
Yeah, he doesn't sound familiar.
Hey! You know, that guy?
Hang on.
Eddie Murphy used to do make fun of him with the hot tub thing.
That's right. Okay, yeah, I know who James Brown is. I'm just really bad with names.
Okay.
To Peter Tosh, to Michael Jackson, and I'm like, mine's so fucking weird. Mine goes from fucking Eminem to Gordon Lightfoot to Johnny Horton, who's also a pretty good folk music artist.
I know them all.
Oh yeah, I believe it.
Well, I used to work in the record industry, so I know many artists.
Yeah, and then it would go to like
days, as the old saying goes.
It would, and then like Ed Sheeran to like some different German music, like Kraft Club or like.
Sheeran rubs me the wrong way.
What's that?
Like Sheeran, the guy just rubs me the wrong way for some reason.
I only like Nancy Mulligan. That's like the only song of his that I like. I'll be honest.
All right, fair enough.
Other than that, yeah, I don't care for his music. I also have like.
Sassy loves Michael Jackson.
Who doesn't?
You know, I saw him live. I went to the Victory Tour when he toured with all his brothers.
Lucky bastard! I remember when he died.
Yeah, and he had this giant robotic spider on the stage, which was pretty cool. I went because I had to be the what do you call it? Like, not a babysitter, but there's a word for it. Starts with C, I think. Anyway,
connoisseur. No. There's also Watsky on my playlist.
I went to watch over my younger cousins because they wanted to go.
Mm-hmm. There's like also the Dreadnoughts are a pretty good kind of Celtic polka band. They're pretty good.
Yeah, they're actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Have you heard the
and then can't forget Tom Petty.
Oh wow, hell yeah.
Fucking love Tom Petty.
A couple of his tunes.
Tom Petty is also up there as like one of my favorite artists of all time. And no, I don't like Justin Bieber, you freak.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, so is Gordon Lightfoot. So I mean,
yes, he is.
So you got that.
Lightfoot's awesome.
Lightfoot is fucking amazing.
Have you listened to any of my stuff?
What's that? No, I have not. I remember you saying that because I remember I remember you mentioning that you needed a new bassist, and I'm like, hey, I'm a bassist.
Yeah, but you don't live anywhere near me.
Yeah, and I just sold my bass guitar the other week.
I'm physically in pain right now.
It sucked. It sucked to have to sell that. It really did. because like I loved playing the bass. So if I ever get the money to get a new bass, I'm gonna fucking do it. But
nice. You see what IQ said? Smoked a doobie with the bass player from OTEP. Beautiful.
Nice.
When we hang out one day, IQ, we'll smoke a joint, and you can say, "Hey, I smoked a joint with that asshole 604 atheist."
No, I actually haven't listened to any of your stuff. I need to though.
Well, you can find us on SoundCloud. Just go to the SoundCloud or whatever the fuck it is, the app, and type in Liminus, and it's Liminnis. And
also a band called Red Fox. That's a V, by the way. I know my V's kind of sound like F's sometimes.
Red Fox?
Yeah, Red Fox. They're pretty good. One of their lead singer streams on Twitch, and one of my roommates watches him.
Okay. I have not heard of them, actually, to be honest.
They're pretty small. They're pretty small, but they're not bad. So what did you say it's called?
Oh, Liminus. Liminnis.
Liminnis.
We're calling ourselves Threshold for a while, but I had no idea. They'd never even showed up in my record store when I was working there. But there was another band called Threshold that'd been around since about 93.
Yeah.
Actually makes sense because I was out of the record store by 93. Okay. So anyway, they threatened to sue us. So I was in the ancient languages and looked up what threshold would be in Latin, and I didn't like it, but it said on the threshold was Liminnis. So we went.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So I just listened to like the first 10 seconds of After.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
After the one, yeah, After's pretty good. I
also like the cover for Future's End.
Future's End, yeah, which is another decent song. We write some pretty decent stuff. Most of it's heavier edged,
yeah,
but not like deathcore or really heavy,
right?
Because a lot of our influences are bands like Sabbath and Zeppelin, Rush,
right? Pretty like good. Fucking I've seen Rush in concert.
Me too, like 5 times, man.
It was like a one-time thing because they really don't tour anymore. But it was a couple years ago. A friend invited me to a concert of theirs, and it was pretty good.
Yeah, very cool. I recommend Aaron Ra's favorite tune of ours is "Taste My Sin," and somebody else I can't remember who it was that told me, but they like Tangled. "Taste My Sin" is a song I wrote because a friend of mine was going through some issues with drug abuse, like hardcore stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that song is it's from the perspective of the drug to the user.
Gotcha.
Kind of like there was a Tool tune that was similar to that too, which anyways, Dimebag Darrell. Yeah, fuck, I miss Dimebag Darrell.
Yeah.
Pantera was great.
Yeah. So I'll definitely have to listen to some of your music at some point whenever I get, the time to sit down and listen to some music,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Cool. And Sassy, we're going to have to get you stoned. She's never smoked before.
I have, but I learned very quickly that I'm allergic to weed.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it does. I remember when my doctor, the doctor in my old city, learned that I was allergic to weed. He goes, "Damn, that fucking sucks."
It totally fucking sucks. This is in preparation for when I go for dinner with my cousins. So
I gotcha.
Look, weed on YouTube. It's okay. Relax, YouTube. It's legal here in Canada. So
right. Hey, it's becoming more and more legal here in the States too.
That's true. I'm rooting for you guys.
I see my state. We just voted to legalize it medicinally. So that's a good step. That was a good step.
Hang on, Biddy. Let me see if I can virtually get this to you. Let me see. That's not working.
Nice.
Sin against Sassy, you gave up God, so you're okay to smoke now.
Yeah, it's fine.
You don't have to get like completely baked or anything. You just take a couple of puffs and you sit back and you go, "Oh, hey, I'm kind of buzzed."
Yeah, it's puff puff pass.
Yeah, and then everything's funny.
Yeah,
your first few times, anyways. But
yeah, right.
you kind of get out of that. Then the munchies happen.
Dude, I have the munchies fucking anyways.
Yeah, right. And then you get stoned. And like, shit, now I'm going to go through 2 large pizzas.
Right. Like, I eat so much fucking food.
As you can tell, I actually have a T-shirt. I might be in my 50s, but I have a T-shirt that says "I'm not like most teens. I'm in my 50s." So
nice.
More or less like how I actually am.
My dad needs that shirt because he's I wouldn't say he's a lot like you because I would still say he leans right on the like spectrum of politics and like beliefs, but he's definitely still a child when it comes to a lot of things. And that's like one of my favorite things about my father. I think someone's home.
Sassy's like, imagine me being stoned if you know how crazy you are now. See, that's just it, Sassy. The weed will calm your ass down. It calms you drop you down a level. You won't be all like crazy like that.
Hello.
Unless you get paranoid, then that's another story.
Right.
It can happen.
I heard a story from somebody the first time they smoked, they got really paranoid.
Yeah, it's happened to me too, man. But I learned how to control that because it was happening for like a large segment of time where I was all of a sudden it just would kick in. It's almost like I was actually anxiety and then I was smoking and it would kick in. But I learned to tell myself, okay, this has happened before and you always get through it.
Right.
After a while, it just went away.
I think the thing for me is I don't really have any like anxiety or depression issues anyways.
Yeah,
like, so
we're lucky, dude.
Oh yeah. Like basically everybody else in my family, except for my father, does. Like me and my father are the only two that really don't. And like, I'm happy. I'm happy now.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that because like I like listening to my mother talk about it. It's I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's my mom is bipolar and manic depressive, so I could see the worst of that stuff when it goes down. But
yeah,
I'm always like, as soon as I hear that she's in that sort of a mood, I'm like in the car and over there with her, right? Because
right.
She's attempted suicide twice.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, no, now I live about 4 hours from my parents.
Right, I'm 20 minutes away from my mom, so.
My
dad's already passed away, but I do have biological dad, and my biological mom passed away too. But yeah,
but
both from cancer.
Yeah, God, cancer's a fucking bitch. So this isn't gonna sound nearly as sad as what you just said, but like my dog, we just had to put down my dog because of cancer, and like. I like that dog more than I like most people. So I was real sad about it.
It's not uncommon to hear people say that.
No, it's really not. It's really not.
Dogs are pretty loyal companions. So
yeah. I love that dog more than like 98% of the people I know.
They're going to make a joke of more than 98% of the cats that I know.
No, fuck cats. That dog, I love that dog more than 100% of the cats I know.
Close your ears, Max. Someone's bad talking you.
What happened?
My roommate's got a cat named Max.
Oh, nice.
See, I've had cats and dogs my whole life, so I'm good with
this.
Max is pretty badass. He doesn't take shit from anybody.
So the dog was put down the day after my birthday. So that was the first time in 21 years that I have not had a dog in my life. So it was really weird. It was really weird not having something to like, you know, jokingly bully in the house, right? You know, because like my dog was a bit overweight because we fed her a lot, you know.
That would be the reason.
right. No, I'm not saying that she was mysteriously overweight. I'm not saying she was mysteriously overweight. We know why she was overweight. We fucking fed her ass so much food. You know.
Usually better the other way, you're going through the mouth, or there's actually an old
I've been doing it wrong this whole time.
Yeah.
Damn.
Been giving them like dog food enemas. What's going on here?
Jeez. Yeah. we've been putting it in a tube and just shoving it up there.
It's like reverse siphoning.
Oh God.
So why this stuff comes in my head, man.
Oh jeez.
Anyway.
Yeah. Jesus.
Talk about that.
That's funny.
But it is getting. I'm in about 50 minutes. I got to pick up and leave here to meet my cousins. So,
all right.
It's been awesome, dude, chatting with you.
Yeah, of course. If we have any more questions for the chat, I'd love to answer them. So,
well, we're gonna have to hold that thought. But you can jump into any of my after parties, and people can throw.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, or just ask me on Twitter. The Twitter is just GDS Skeptic. So.
Just getting to that right now before I sign out of here. So just so you guys know, you can sub to Godless Skeptic's channel. It's below in the description box, and also his Twitter is there as well. Just copy paste it into the thing, and away you go.
I promise I'll upload again soon. Once I get my desk.
There you go. All right. Well, dude, thanks a lot for coming and hanging with me and shooting the shit.
This was a lot of fun. Just to
know my Twitter people and Facebook people and a little bit better.
Right, exactly. It was a blast. I'll have to come join an after party at some point.
You won't regret it, especially if Duke's there. Duke Nukem. That's what I think we should be calling the guy.
Oh, I love that game. I love that game so much.
A lot of fun. Yeah, I had a patch for it where you could change all the bad guys to Barney the dinosaur, which was hilarious.
That's funny. That's funny.
All right, guys, thanks for tuning in and hanging out with us. Unfortunately, as I was mentioning on Twitter and whatnot, there will not be an after party tonight because got a couple of cousins in town. My Aunt Shelley's 2 daughters, they're here with their kids and stuff, so we're going out for dinner. So I will let you guys know the next one will be, let me double check here, which will be Saturday, I think. I think I do have one for Saturday, and it'll be with Stuck in the South. Who's a very recent deconversion, and it'll be on 6 p.m. on June 15th. So come on back and hang out with us then, and there will be an after party for that one, just so you know, because I have no plans. I have no life outside of this, really.
Right. I might try to come by that after party then.
All right, that's awesome. I'm going to have to actually cancel one of my chats now that I had set up for June 22nd.
Oh.
Yeah, because I'm going over to the Vancouver Island to see Shelley Segal play at one of the coffee shops over there.
Nice.
I tried to get her a gig over on this side of the Georgia Strait as well, but unfortunately, everyone I knew with a venue was already booked solid, and the only place left was a local pub here, and I sort of had a falling out with the guy recently.
Gotcha.
He borrowed a friend of mine. So
oh man, I went this. So. Okay, you probably got to go. I'll not tell this story yet. Maybe on an after party sometime I'll tell the story.
Man. All right, well, thanks again, man. And always say at the end of these things, guys, as the late, great Christopher Hitchens said, it's called faith because it's not knowledge. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace out.
Alrighty.